Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about a project I've been working on for the course npm 809T, taught by Professor Steve Mitchell. So as a part of the course, we were required to build an autonomous mobile robot that would traverse from a cold storage in a vaccine delivery simulation system to the actual vaccine delivery location. So this is the robot that I've built, and as we continue to sustain our fight against the COVID-19 pandemic, our primary objective must be to be able to obtain and deliver as many vaccines as possible and get as many people vaccinated as possible, and that is what this course is attempting to simulate. So the next video will be about how the robot has come to life right from scratch. So this is the robot that I've built. It runs on a Raspberry Pi 3V+. It has a gigabit of RAM, and it's a 4-wheel drive robot. As you can see, it's got 4 wheels and 4 motors, one for each wheel. The front left wheel has something called as an encoder. It's a black, device that basically helps us localize and figure out how many wheel rotations have happened and how much distance the robot has traveled. Similarly, you can find it on the rear right as well. We've had it on 2 locations so that we can figure out which direction the robot is going in. And next we have something called as an H-bridge. This gives each of the motors signals based on how much input we give from the Raspberry Pi. So if we want to travel some certain distance, then we tell the H-bridge gives the signals to the robot's wheels, and the robot's wheels move accordingly. Moving on to the sensors, we've got an ultrasonic distance sensor. This helps us, avoid obstacles, because we know how much distance an obstacle is from the point of the robot. And we also have an IMU. This is connected to an Arduino Nano. The IMU helps us, figure out how much angle it is with respect to the center. So how much angle we've done, how much angle we need to. And then we've got a paddle gripper. The paddle gripper helps grip the vaccine vials at the facility, and then lets them go when we, reach the facility that we have to deploy them at. And then finally we come to the Pi camera. The Pi camera has several features that we've used largely for localization. It can detect arrows, QR codes, and faces. And so these are the outputs that we've gotten based on the testing for each of these cameras. So again, as we discussed, this robot has 4 wheels and 2 encoders. So using the encoders, we've been able to localize how much distance it's traveled like this. And so I can control and decide how much distance it needs to go, and it will go that specific distance. So to check how accurate it is, we've attempted teleoperating it. And this is the output of the tele. So after teleoperating with the encoders, I've also fitted an IMU, a BNL055. With the help of the IMU, we can figure out, like I mentioned already, we can figure out how much yaw angle and what angle it's going at. Again, similar to the previous teleop, we've basically compared and contrasted the difference between the angle that it actually turns accurately with the encoder and with the IMU. And these are the outputs of the differences, and clearly from the outputs you can also see that the IMU is far more superior in terms of accuracy than an encoder is. So one of the most important issue that I faced during working with this was that the robot could never go straight even during teleoperation because of the errors caused by the difference in encoder counts. So because of this, I had used a PID controller so that it could correct itself over time and reduce the error because of the multiplication with the KP. This helped me, correct the errors so that it could go a lot more straighter and the correct direction. So as you can see, this is the grand challenge that designed. It's a 12 feet by 12 feet arena with obstacles in between so that the robot cannot directly go, simulating a real world scenario. There's a cold storage with 3 different vaccines, and then there's a delivery at the bottom right corner. Now this is where the start of the robot is, and from here there is a QR code that is shown to the camera of the robot. This is sent to us by the professor, and it could represent any of the 3 vaccines. For instance, in this case, let us consider that we've received a J&J vaccine. Then the robot would move forward, pick up the J&J vaccine and move back again. Now once it's here, it would turn left by 90 degrees and move forward until it can read an arrow that points it to the right direction. Once it reads an arrow, it will move to the direction that it reads and turn left by 90 degrees. And it'll keep moving until it can scan a QR code. There is a QR code at the end of that deployment area that shows and tells it to stop, saying that it's reached the area. Once it's there, it waits for a face detection, and once it detects the face, it drops the respective vaccine and moves back. Once it moves back, it turns left again by 90 degrees and moves forward until it can localize and figure out where there's another arrow. Once it sees the arrow, it can read the arrow and move to the left. This process repeats 2 other times, and it can pick up and replace all 3 arrows and place them back based on what QR code we send it. So, like you guys saw, there are a couple of issues with the performance of the robot during the GC, and most of them were caused because of the errors caused by the IMU readings. So the turning that was supposed to be 90 degrees was either a bit too much or a bit too less, and because of that, the orientation and the direction that the robot would go in would completely change the path that it would take. This caused a lot of errors overall, and I think to be able to correct it, I would recalibrate the IMU and test it a lot more just to make sure that it works on all surfaces. And like I already specified, the initial testing that I did was on a different surface from the test from the final grand challenge. So I would ideally refine out some of these errors and so that the robot could deliver the vaccines in time. But thank you guys for watching. It was a great experience learning everything about the course, and I hope you guys enjoyed and have a good day.